Oh, what's up, you two?
Hello.
Hello.
How you feeling, Dalton?
Migraine, but
Oh,
Arnar.
oh no.
um, but
Unfortunate.
yeah, but I'm gonna treat it basically the same way I've been treating the heart thing. If it gets bad, I'll go away for a few minutes and come back.
Mm-hmm. Tell your brain to chill the fuck out.
I wish it would listen to me.
Is your manager
Just in
listening?
general.
Yeah. Is your manager listening to you now, Caleb?
Uh, Mostly. She did schedule me to close on like Tuesday, like the 3rd, which at least is like 2 weeks out in advance this time. But she's kind of doing me a big favor with like my vacation time, so I'm trying not to step on too many toes there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Jamie's seeing if they can potentially move session, or I mean, if I just have to miss it, then I just have to miss it. But
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, let me see. Let me see if I have a law school exam that day, because if I do, maybe I wouldn't be too opposed to moving it myself.
yeah, it's the 3rd is when we return.
Yes,
Jamie asked if. Oh, go on.
I'm aware. I'm just looking at my schedule.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I do have an exam that day. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to moving it.
Dope. Yeah, their suggestion was Wednesday.
Yeah, that works. That do work. We can rock with Wednesday.
Yeah.
Ah. I was driving earlier this morning, and as I was doing so, I watched this one 18-wheeler almost get into three different wrecks with other 18-wheelers. Because
Oh,
somehow
Mm.
they kept on trying to change lanes with an 18-wheeler right next to them. And I was like, what's your
oh,
problem?
what the
And
hell?
these are all
No,
different
over.
trucks.
No, what span of time did this happen over?
Over the course of about an hour, as I was going down
Yeesh.
Yeah,
I 95.
yeah. I've had issues with drivers around here before, but then this morning I left DC
Mm hmm.
and it was it was way worse.
Yeah, DC drivers are something else.
Mm.
It's because you have the Maryland drivers there too.
So true.
It's insane how everyone forgets to drive the second you cross the Potomac. It never ceases to amaze me.
Well, that's
And
just because Virginia cops crack down like motherfuckers.
oh yeah,
They keep
it,
us in line.
it's amazing. Anytime I'm on my way to Baltimore, holy moly, I always see a car do that thing where it'll be in the left lane and then it'll just drift all the way to the right lane to an exit without ever flicking on their turn signal. It's like, okay, we're mind readers now, I guess, according to this glorb fucko.
Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, bye. Toodles. Thank you. And
Like I
fuck you.
at one point while I was trying to leave, I got to a white and I needed to turn, but there was a sign saying no left turns unless it's at these times of day. So I was trying to read the sign, but as I was trying to read it, the person behind me had not hit the brake and was honking loudly. So I just okay, I'll find another turn.
Yeah.
I lost that particular game of chicken.
I don't see. I think that's technically a win by the chicken rules of the game. Smashing into each other is a loss for both parties.
That's very true.
Ah. But we have a session to get to and a mysterious island that you've arrived at. What could be here?
Stuff and things, probably.
Stuff and things.
Probably nothing important.
No, nothing important.
Like, we're just gonna show up here and they're gonna escort us to a nice hotel, and yeah, we'll have a nice few days.
It'll be cool and also chill.
Mm-hmm. So before we can get to your nice, relaxing island vacation, Caleb, can you give the recap for us?
Sure. Let's see. Right. Um, we started off facing against Quinn. We entered and the Briar Hydra.
And
We
Gregory,
entered initiative.
goddamn.
I'm sorry, King. Um, we started off entering initiative. Vicha did try to warn Quinn to like back off because we were basically claimed by the banker now. Um, Quinn kind of wavered, but they got hostile again when other people started attacking the Blossomed. So that was fun. We got the shit beat out of us for a little while, until uh, until Lucky Break was used. Uh, and we started having red lightning consume the sky. Uh, Quinn kind of looked around and yelled for everyone to run, before evaporating into nothingness. The Briar Hydra also evaporated. Um, Neza had put up a barrier before to shield some people during the fight and kind of re-upped it, which helped keep Lady Alaire from evaporating because she came very close. Um, the Everyone else was safe from being unwritten. Um, Alaire is still fucked up though. Alive, but not doing so hot. Um, the blossomed zombies also survived, but they ran away. Um, we had to make some checks to get the ship moving again, but we were able to do so, and we left the storm behind. Um, so Ylan checked on Ocean and then kind of looked around the ship, and it got fucked up during the storm, but wasn't too bad, so we managed to fix everything back up. Nisa put some anti-divination runes on the ship, as well as an alarm for herself if anyone tried to scry. We saw some kind of very big whale swimming in the acid sea. That was interesting. We kind of tried to steer around that. Um, Vicha ended up at the wheel. Let's see. Oh, Elon also got a witch's mount. He made one out of a barrel. That was very fun. Let's see. The first island we approached had mini elephants all over it. Um, we kind of spent basically a whole day checking out that island, gathering some food, playing with our new friends. We checked out the plateau and we saw an absolutely fucking massive bird. Um, that was very fun. Didn't try to eat us though. It just kind of looked at us for a while, drank some water, left. Um, let's see. Eventually, we kind of headed back to the ship. Um, Vicha ended up breaking some uh, rules for interacting with wildlife, by leaving the elephants some toys to play with, because they got very attached to him. And then we set off, sailed again, and found another island that actually had a small like harbor, kind of a trace of like civilization, but As we looked at it, we saw that there was a ship in the harbor that looks very much like the Mantis, and found that the infected had beaten us here to this town.
Correct. And this is where we begin this session, as all of you begin to sail just to the edge of this harbor. What are you guys doing?
Is anyone up in the crow's nests right now?
Would Alon, would you be up
imagine-
there?
Yeah, I imagine so.
Okay. Then Alon's up there.
Can I get any sort of closer look at what's going on the island?
Sure, make a physical check as you pull out your spyglass and start taking a look.
Six.
6. Okay. Then, as you start looking, first your eyes fall upon the ship of the Devout. And as you look upon it, its name is the Rift Treader. And it has holes in its side. It is not seaworthy at the moment, Alon. And you can see...
Do
Hmm?
I was just gonna ask, does it look like these holes are from acid erosion or from something hitting it?
Oh, you can see the chunks of rubble that were
Oh.
thrown into the sides of this ship, breaking through the hull. You're also able to see the dead infected on the actual ship as well. And as your spyglass begins to look at the main thoroughfare that goes from the harbor, you're able to see that there's a sign. It says Sable Island, likely this place's name. But that is one of the few things that is kind of left intact, because looking down this street, the main thoroughfare seems to be pretty much destroyed. Dead, infected, and a few dead citizens kind of line this place. Parts of buildings, chunks maybe half a ton in size, have been thrown through upper floor windows, causing like this mass devastation and destruction. There is weird excess plant matter growing out from amongst the cobble and the dirt, and even some of the buildings themselves, these tight tangles of thorns. And as you just continue to follow, you don't see any infected or civilians out on the streets at this point. But with 6 successes, you follow almost like this trail of destruction that leads up to almost the high point here on the docks. And kind of overlooking this settlement, you're able to see something familiar, Alon. A Church of Estelle.
Does this look like an old church?
It does. It looks old, probably comparable in age to the one in Lords, although not as well kept.
Okay.
What was the name?
Oh, go ahead.
What was the name of the ship and the name of the island one more time?
The Rift Treader is the name of the ship,
And Sable?
Sable Island. Yep.
How do you spell Sable?
You can see on the map. On literally the bar.
Oh, up there. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were looking at. Okay. Also, does it look like the fighting and violence was sort of isolated to the main thoroughfare, or do I see signs of it elsewhere in the town?
There are signs that maybe a few of the infected attempted to wander off, but none made it more than a block away. It seems to have been pretty well contained to the main thoroughfare.
And I see no signs of life currently.
Not that you can see. I mean, there are seabirds that are flying overhead, but that would be pretty much all that there is.
Okay. This may seem like a weird question. Do I see farmland or anything that looks like a food source here?
The island is more so rocky in this general terrain, but you would see some terrace farming a little bit further back from the shore, probably to shield the crops from the saltwater spray.
Um, Once again, maybe an odd question, but look, as someone who grew up on a farm, can I tell what sort of uh, stage the crops are in?
At this point, the fields look like they are ready to be harvested.
Does it look like they've been ready to harvest, or they are just getting to that point?
It looks like they're just getting to that point. Like they're not rotting in
Okay.
the fields or anything.
Okay.
And you would
Okay.
probably be able to see one field, probably that was full of some type of asparagus that has been already harvested for the season.
Okay. I will float down in my barrel.
Okay.
Um, and inform everybody else as to what I saw on the island. I don't want to shout right now. I don't want to shout down because I don't know what's around to hear me.
Gotcha.
Well, I say we go take a look.
Yes. I will say, it seems that the locals and the infected had a sizable enough battle here. So, do we think it would be worth perhaps, I don't know, finding a strip of white cloth and raising it?
Oh,
I'd rather
well,
not get attacked as soon as we make landing.
fair point. We don't know who
Well-
won exactly, though.
No, we don't.
Do
And
we
if
also-
it's
We're
them
already
that
basically
won.
docked, aren't we?
No, you're still in the
Like-
harbor.
Gotcha. But we're in a position where people would have seen us by now, right?
Probably.
Here's my other point. If it's them that won, if it's the infected that won, then we should be careful with the ship because they would probably want to take it to leave with.
I see what you mean. That other ship doesn't really look like an escape route.
No, I would say that is not going to be hitting acid again.
I can probably stay back if need be, just to make sure the ship is in good working order. At the very least, I
How
can make
big-
sure it doesn't sink.
That'd be great. How big is this island exactly?
This island, you think it's probably 3 miles across?
Okay. Like, do I think that we could see the entire? Is it around to the curves visible from just naked eye?
Most of the island's curvature is visible to the naked eye, but it's a fairly large and substantial island.
Okay.
Mostly, though, it
Like the
has
church.
more sheer cliffs along the side. This is more of like one of the few natural landing spots that you saw as you were beginning to approach.
All right, gang, I don't want to play this.
I mean, did you see any movement at all?
Birds. That's it.
Birds.
And from the looks of their farmland, they're in the middle of or getting started for harvest. So I'm surprised there's not movement.
guess the best we can hope for is some friends on here at this island. Phew. You know, if we have worries about anyone boarding the ship, I mean, we could just anchor it here and I can fly us all to the shore.
You know what? It's not like they could swim out here.
Exactly. It's acid water.
Yeah.
Ouch.
How far out are we?
Well,
At this point, you're probably about half a mile, I'd say.
the infected aren't adapted to swim in the acid, but the if people have been here long enough to set up a city, may have found ways to interact with the acid.
I mean, potentially, but
Yeah, I just mean we'll still want to. We shouldn't feel safe just leaving the ship out here, assuming no one can get to it.
no, it still doesn't make me feel safe. I just thought it was like a slightly safer option.
Safer, yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, let's get a little bit closer, and then we'll drop anchor.
Gotcha. Then how much closer are you wanting to take the ship?
As close as we can get that we are still far enough away that someone would have to jump in the acid to reach the ship.
All right. So is that like
Like,
30 feet?
are there docks?
There are, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I guess about, say, 50, 60 feet away from where the dock ends.
Gotcha. Completely doable. Then, as you go and you sail up to that point, Boudica, I'm assuming you're definitely taking Alon and Vicha. Are you wanting...
I could do it myself.
That's true. Are you guys wanting to take anybody else with you to shore?
Yeah, you want in on this?
Yeah, I mean... If they lost and whatever did this is out there, I don't want you all walking around just looking dumb.
Well, you can get help from Boudica, or you can join me in this barrel.
You can see she'll like look back and forth. I think I trust Boudica more. No offense, Dad.
None taken. He sort of looks away and a single tear goes down.
Oh no.
Alright, then is that the crew who's going ashore?
Is Vicha heading with me or Boudica?
I mean, Vicha would hop in the barrel if Alon let him.
Yeah, sure. The barrel takes off and floats away.
Okay.
I assume with the amount of holes in him, Vicha weighs like nothing.
Oh, it
It's not
doesn't
too much
matter.
stress on the barrel.
This barrel can lift as much weight as I need it to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mm. Away we fly.
Away you fly. Then the four of you are able to touch down on the docks.
I think I'm just gonna continue floating and with my crossbow out.
Okay. Sentry turret, I got it.
Yep.
I think Vicha would probably blink down to the ground. Or, well, if we're close enough to the ground, he'll just hop down. He's better there.
Gotcha.
Boudica will, touch down and place Diana on the ground, and then Boudica will just have her axe out and ready.
Okay.
Are you gonna head straight to the church, or you want to check something else out first?
Let's do church first and take note of interesting things and check them out on the way back. How does that sound?
Works for me. I would
Sure.
like to keep an eye out for any actively growing Estelle flowers.
Gotcha. Then as you're looking about, it's about 400 or 500 feet from the shore when you find one just like beginning to bloom amongst the cobblestones.
Okay. I will point it out.
Okay.
By the way, are there like lights? Are there like lit lanterns or anything?
Looking around, like there are definitely places for street lights and lamps to be lit, but they're not lit necessarily at the moment.
Mm. I will go and inspect one of those lights and like just sort of hold a hand out and see if it's warm or there's like melted wax or anything, or if it seems like it's been a while.
You think it's probably been since last night, since it
Ah,
was lit.
okay.
Yeah. It's getting it to be about 5 o'clock now, so the sun is beginning to go down, and you think about now would be the time that these lights would be getting lit. However, they are not right now.
Right.
But as you're continuing to walk and investigate, make another physical check for me, Alon. This time at benefit 1.
9.
9. As you're walking, then you'd be able to begin to pass by a group of shops and stores as you're making your way down this thoroughfare. And you can peek through the now broken open doors of what you think to be some sort of restaurant or tavern like establishment. And as you look inside, you would see plates with food on them. Some of the plates are on the floor, but looking at the general plates of oatmeal, eggs, and general like breakfast meats there, it looks like the breakfast of this place was interrupted.
Hmm.
And as you are continuing Vicha and Boudica, you'd be able to see that there are a series of shops here that would have sustained a kind of a thriving community here out in the middle of the sea. Most of the shops are geared towards fishing, the maintenance of boats, and the like. But there are other shops, like you can see a tailor shop. There is a meager blacksmithing establishment with a single bellows that you're able to spot, Boudica, as you begin to ascend kind of the higher terraces of this village.
I take note of the fishing shop.
Okay.
Um, does it seem like up where the church is, there are other major buildings, or do we see like a town hall or a, I don't know, mayor's house or something?
As you're looking about, you'd be able to see kind of to your right, maybe 700-800 feet away on kind of a rocky outcropping, there would be a group of buildings that look more administrative, but they're not near the
Okay.
church.
Right. Okay. Take a note of that as well.
Okay. You would be able to take note of, though, that the devastation seems to only increase as you get closer and closer to this church. The ground is broken open in many places as these jumbles of thorns seem to have burst through. There are one or two Moristel flowers that you're able to pass. However, the chunks of rubble seem to only increase in size and seem to be stamping out some of the growing foliage. But as you are kind of stepping over the bodies of the infected, you're now about 200 feet away from this church.
Is there anything particular about the non-infected bodies, or do they just seem like normal?
As you go to check them out, you're able to see that amongst some of these people, there are humans, dwarves. You're able to see that there are a few dryads amongst the crowd, a goblin or two, many more types of fae. And you'd also be able to see that probably 30 to 40% of the bodies would be satyrs.
Hmm. Okay.
But
Is there any? Does it seem like there's a different cause of death, or does it all just seem like fighting, lacerations, bludgeonings?
it seems like fighting.
Okay.
Although I will say that, taking stock of the civilian quote unquote body count, um, it's like one civilian per every 7 or 8 infected individual. Like, it does not seem like the citizenry were slaughtered, at least not here. If they died somewhere else.
Okay.
Now you're kind of standing, just kind of facing this ancient marble church. You can see that there's a bit of ivy growing up its side, but not enough to impact its structural integrity. You're able to smell incense even from here, Vicha. Um, this almost ancestral wafting scent that comes out of this place. One of the doors, Boudica, moves in the sea breeze, just almost tolling you as it sways back and forth on a hinge.
Uh, does this church have like a steeple or an upper level, or is it just sort of one big ground level room?
It does seem to have a taller steeple that ascends upward, uh, probably just enough for some sort of bell, but otherwise, probably not much else other than that.
Okay. I'd like to float on up, take
Okay,
a look.
gotcha. And as you float on up, you would see that there is an old bell, has a little bit of rust to it, but overall actually kept in relatively good condition with a thick, kind of deep brown rope knotted around it that descends downward into the heart of the church.
Can I see down into the church, and do I see anything?
Um, Kind of peeking down, you would see that there is an interior below. It's not a huge opening so that water does not seep in to the building. Um, with a 9 on your previous physical check, though, you'd be able to see um, the glistening of red blood that is getting hit by the falling sun.
I will float back down and say, "There's blood." I'll head inside.
Yeah. Gotta be careful.
Okay. Crossbow at the ready, floating a good, 4 or 5 feet above the ground.
Okay.
Waiting for someone to open the door.
Boudica will be the one who approaches the door and she'll slowly open it.
Gotcha. Then as you slowly open the door, Boudica, it gives this loud squeal as it almost resists you as you push open. Inside you see rows and rows of pews that are turned over, visible destruction within. And as your eyes carry, you can see towards the back end of this chamber there is this raised altar. Kind of above this altar sits this statue of a woman that you think might be Estelle, Boudica. Kind of long, flowing hair, beautiful dress and garb, radiating pristine elegance. And then, laying at the base of the statue, you see a woman. She's bleeding heavily. Her face is wrought with cuts and scrapes, and you can see she clutches like this bouquet of wildflowers and incense as she seems to be saying a prayer. As she continues to pray, her eyes don't immediately fall on you, Boudica. She's just kind of lost in kind of devotion. And as you look at her, Boudica, the garb that she is wearing almost seems to be like a very fine priestly vestments.
Boudica will approach her.
Gotcha.
Are they Estelle flowers that she's holding?
No, they're not.
Okay.
They seem to be wild lace flowers of some kind. And
Beach will just kind of give like a polite knock on the door.
you can see the one would stop and look more in your direction. Who goes there?
Are you in need of assistance?
That depends who asks, stranger. Not many walk into these parts.
Might I just say a healer?
A healer, you say? Tell me, do you hail from the Dark Ring?
Yes, I do.
I have received visions of your coming for quite some time now. Yes. Yes, I will accept your attendance.
I land the barrel, get out, and rush to her side.
Gotcha. As you rush forward, you're able to look and you're able to see this nasty chest wound along amongst a series of other lacerations as there are thorns embedded all along this woman's body. And you can see, looking at the wound, already there are like Estelle flowers beginning to sprout from it, attempting to stem the flow, as the woman seems to have been like trying to meticulously pluck them out, trying to stifle the rate of infection. Soon, though, Alon, just judging by your knowledge and research here, you think the Estelle flowers are going to be able to really latch in to this woman's aether, her soul, her being.
I will attempt to stem their or curb their growth as I'm speaking to her. Who are you, if I may ask?
My name is Sabine. I am High Priestess of Estelle in this place.
What happened to your island?
Those infected by the plague, it seems, arrived. Not in a direction that they've ever come from before, though. They landed a ship. I attempted to drive them off, but one amongst their number, a thing made of thorns and hate, once a woman, perhaps, attacked with such fury and ferocity. I attempted to beat her, but at the end, I was only able to seal her in the vestry below. I applied what wards I could, but my strength failed me. And there the creature remains. Although from what I was able to see, I was able to take care of the rest. I patrolled the harbor.
In sort of inspecting her wounds a bit closer, does this seem like that situation Borrelia told us about, where the Estelle flowers are keeping the wound from killing her?
In a way, perhaps, but looking at it, she seems to possess magic as well, that she's attempting to use to seal the wound. The stealth flowers just aren't letting happen. And you think, no matter what, these Estelle flowers with a wound like this, if left to grow, are just going to completely infect this woman.
Gotcha. Hey, can I just real quick? The cure that we have. We was it liters or milliliters?
Milliliters?
Okay. And we use. Okay, so we have. Oh my god, it's, okay. So we have plenty. I'll produce a dose.
Alright. One standard dose is about 5% of your total.
Okay. I can tell. Is she an Aether Soul?
Yes. From what
Okay.
you can tell, a fairly powerful one.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind, could you just sort of look up at that ceiling for a moment for me?
I can. And the woman will do as you instruct.
And I will give her the injection.
Gotcha. You give her the injection, you kind of wait a moment. As you can see, the woman begins to grimace as the Estelle flowers all start to melt away. One by one, it's like they are dying being poisoned. As they fall away from the wound, you can see the woman kind of coughs and from her throat produces one Estelle flower that was growing. You can see she kind of takes a deep breath and then her hand begins to glow almost like this sapphire color as she lays it against her wound. And it stems the bleeding and begins to cover itself with flesh, a thin kind of film over it. It is certainly not fully healed, but it's all that she can manage as she just kind of slumps backward against the base of the statue. My many thanks to you.
Well, now that we have the big problem fixed, let me see what I can do about the rest. And I will see what I can do about the wound itself.
I mean, the wound itself has been covered over and kind of patched as you look over it. It's a fairly deep laceration from what you can tell right now. Um, Likely, punctured some internals, but she's an Aether Soul, so they'll heal eventually. Her other wounds will probably begin to heal, but
Okay.
you think at this point the biggest thing that she's gonna have to contend with is just like the after effects of the injection of the cure, as it's
Gotcha.
going to, elicit a reaction from her.
Yeah. So, you said you got rid of the rest of them?
I did purge them from this island the best I could.
Well, you seem to have done a number on their boat.
Mm.
So,
Could not allow them to escape. Who knows where they might have fled back to? And I can only guess why they're here. Which also begs the question, why have you showed up?
well, we found the place where they were building a new boat and stole it before they could use it. And we found your little island here.
I see.
Um, I apologize for the uh, sudden administration, but what I just gave you does have some side effects, so you might be a bit uncomfortable for the next little while.
Yes, I believe I already do feel its effects. It works quick, your elixir.
It's meant to.
Efficient. And what are your names?
Well, I'm Milan.
I'm Future.
And I'm Boudica.
Diana. Ah, a pleasure to meet you all. What possessed you to sail this ocean? And, I suppose, breach the defenses of the Grey Gate.
Looking to prevent the movement of these infected. Prevent them from doing what they plan on doing.
Do you happen to know where the Great Talon Quartery is? We found out it's somewhere east of here.
I do. I have been to this tree before. With my Lady Estelle.
don't suppose you would be able to guide us to it.
I could perhaps do such a thing. And she kind of smiles and kind of tries to sit up a bit.
I'll try to help.
Oh, thank you. Tell me, what do you intend to find at the Great Taloncore tree?
Uh, that's where Estelle herself is headed, we heard.
You heard about Estelle's journeys?
I have. Read the stories.
And what did the stories say? About this journey?
Sorry, 1 second.
I think when Vicha was going through the books in the lab and things like that, did he um find the kind of stuff on Estelle that we already know?
Yeah, and you would have been told
Okay.
by the rest of your party as well.
Okay. I believe I'm a bit newer to everything than the rest of them, but from what I heard, she founded the town of Lords, but eventually left and made her way past the Great Gate. Um, and people have been coming looking for her garden since then.
Her garden? Is that what the tales now say?
That's what we were told, yes.
Hmm. And what of Eduard? What do they say of him?
I'm sorry, Edgewater?
Yes.
Eduard, he was, her first follower, wasn't he?
Very true. Although certainly not her most loyal. I can say that.
They're falling out.
Perhaps, yes. And you can see this woman is, kind of looking all of you up and down. All you can go ahead and make a mental check if you'd like.
Absolutely. Uh, exceptional mind.
Mm-hmm.
So funny.
That's gonna be 4 successes.
Would either Eagle Eyes or Doctor help me?
No.
I rolled a nat 1. I got no goddamn idea.
I got 3.
Gotcha. Then Vicha. As you're kind of watching this woman who looks at you, you start to recall some of the information that was given to you. Estelle left, but not alone. She took 3 people with her, or 2 other people with her. It was Estelle, Eduard, and her most devoted cleric, Sabine. And those 3 journeyed to the garden, went south, and disappeared, never being heard from again. This is one of only 2 people that went with Estelle on that mission, Vicha.
You went with her too, didn't you?
I did. I made the journey. And I suppose you tread a similar path. Although I must give warning, what lies in that garden? It is dark and light in equal measure. That I at least believe to be true. Forgive me, but it is my belief that you know very little about our mission, our intent, what we attempted to do. To answer your question, Alon, yes, Eduard did have a change of heart. At least, as much as we can call it such a thing. At the great Taloncore tree we began to descend. For the garden is deep. Beneath this ocean, which was once pristine and clear. Beneath the roots of the tree. Past where all mortals should go. And Eduard, he began to hear a call. Do you know what he practiced, that man? That original follower? The recusant. He came to Lords to touch a primordial power that lay far beyond. And as he drew deeper and deeper, that power, it only grew. Recusant. I would say the title is a joke now. For he did submit to authority, but not Our Lady's. He attacked us and fled deep within the chambers. My Lady and myself were wounded, and my Lady commanded me to return, to find this island and to wait until she rose from the garden. I pleaded with her to return to the surface with me, but I could sense that she saw a different fate. When she did not return, I did as we had planned, closed off the ocean, transforming it into a trap, a means to prevent those like Eduard from continuing, and from Eduard himself from crawling from the depths beneath the great Taloncore tree. And yet I did feel my Lady's power wane and change, alter, and die I know something dark happened. I know that somehow she was changed. And that whatever lies in those depths, it was enough to fell the greatest archfey this ring had ever known. So yes, there was a change of heart. And she'll just regard all of you again. Just almost quizzitively.
I'm sorry. You felt your lady pass? Change? Both?
A change, yes. And a death, maybe. It was a feeling unlike any I had encountered before. Like a great shadow had curled itself around her. But dead. I don't know if I can ever say dead. For you and many others have traveled. You have heard a call, have you not?
Yes, in
All of,
one fashion or another.
all of us have, yes.
Not all of us, but most, yes.
The call happens in many different ways, shapes, and forms, Vicha. I would not doubt that you have been called, whether you know it or not.
Yeah. We want to help Estelle. The infected are trying to find her, and well, we don't want to let them get to her.
I see. The depths beneath the great Taloncore tree led us all almost to madness. In the many centuries since I have ventured there, I have often thought about that place. I possess a compass which I hope will be able to guide you through the labyrinth. Although, while it may be able to guide your bodies, your spirits, those I believe to be perhaps more forfeit. Unless you hold tight to your goal, to each other, more than we did, else you will encounter the same fate.
Fixing what has happened is my only goal. I seek nothing else more.
Then I fear you will fail.
May I ask why?
And I think Sabine would just give you a kind of a long look and then reach out, just try and take one of your hands.
I'll offer.
a goal tied to the ethereal is like attempting to place a pin in a cloud. You are often led astray. The road you build wavers and falls. If you do not know what you do this for, truly, then what lies below the great Taloncore tree will make a mockery of your soul. Tell me.
This may be a bit off topic. Is there any survivors here?
Yes, of course. I sent my parish away and the rest of the town. I did not know what may lie next, nor what would happen when I finally succumb. They're hiding in a spot even unknown to me at the center of the island until a sufficient time has passed. Then some shall return to see if they might return to this place safely.
I see. I see.
People plan on coming back, then we should burn those flowers that we saw.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that would be appreciated. As well, I do not believe my wards will be able to hold the creature beneath this church for much longer. I would ask you to help me. To defeat this beast. I weakened it as much as I could, but I alone could not stem its wrath.
Of course.
And please forgive, this question may be strange, but this creature, it shouted names, places maybe too. I believe it shouted your name, Boudica, and yours alone. Others too. Neza, and a Randall as well. Do you have a connection to this beast?
Highly likely. We'll have to see who it is.
I see.
Elon will sort of, I don't know, find a corner and prep another dose to use just in case.
Gotcha.
if the opportunity arises.
You should probably do the bigger, Nexus-sized dose.
Yeah. So I have a syringe prepped and loaded.
Gotcha.
And, I really think we should hold off killing the infected where we can. If we can just knock this one out. Injecting Doshian was easy once she was unconscious.
All right. Let's get to work.
Down those steps, past that archway, there is a staircase. It should lead you down below into a sanctuary. I have wards placed over a door, but if you speak the prayer of Estelle, it should be able to open for you.
Forgive me, but it has been a long time since I've read that prayer.
Very well.
Right.
The prayer goes as follows, then. O great Fey Queen, let the dew upon petals glisten with promise. Let the thorns remind all who tread here of beauty and loss. In shadow and starlight, in laughter and lament, I am both thorn and the bloom. O warden of forgotten paths and verdant fields, give me clarity. Estelle, guide my hands.
Thank you.
Of course.
And I suppose I'll start down the steps.
Gotcha.
Will follow.
Yeah, if you just follow it.
Diana will follow. But I think Boudica, as you're beginning to go, the woman would kind of give you a look and would motion you over.
I'll go over and see what she needs.
Tell me, have you been in one of my lady's churches before? Do they still exist?
In Boudica's long life, has she ever seen a church of Estelle
Well,
before?
there's the one in Lords.
Oh, yeah, there is the one in Lawrence, but it's in like ruin. That's where Clement was.
It's in better condition than this, dude.
True. True.
It's not in ruins.
I've seen one before.
Have you journeyed to Lords?
Yes, that's where we come from. Where we originally went to when we heard the call.
Have you heard the prayer before?
Me personally, I've not in its entirety, no.
I think you would see Sabine solemnly look down. I see. Thank you.
I'm sorry if that wasn't what you wanted to hear, but we'll go and we'll take care of one problem at a time.
Right. No, the truth is always good. My thanks to you.
Of course. Rest well. That cure has gotta feel like hell.
That it does. I already feel my powers waning considerably. But thank you.
Boudica will sort of bow her head a little bit, and then she'll rush off to join Alon and the others on the pursuit to whatever is below this place.
Gotcha. Then, as all of you start to head through the archway, are you beginning to descend below the church?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. Then, as you start to head below, is there anything you're talking about or wishing to do?
Uh,
Um.
uh, more of just me spitballing. Whatever, I don't know. Do we think we know which host this is? Could be.
Well, it mentioned Randall, so maybe your friend Agnes, that was Randall's daughter, wasn't she?
Yeah.
That's right.
I sort of look to Boudica and say, let's do right by her.
Of course.
And I'll just sort of ready up the crossbow.
Gotcha. Then, as you ready up the crossbow, you continue to creep down the steps, making your way to the bottom floor. And as you start to make your way through this space, you hear crying in the distance. All of you begin to follow it, slowly, each step bringing you closer to the noise. Eventually, as you approach, you come to the other side of this great set of double doors. And here, as you look upon it, this flurry of blue energy seems to meander around its surface, almost like ripples upon a pond. Just constant movement and flow. This energy here that is able to ward the door. And you'd be able to tell each of the crying is coming from the other side.
I look at each of them. Are we ready?
Boudica sort of
Ready?
tightens her grip on her axe, and it's like, of course I am.
Recite the prayer.
Right. Then, as you recite the prayer, you watch as the wards begin to fall away. And then you hear this click as the door itself unlocks. It's open for all of you.
Boudica will position herself right up front and she will do a final check back at everyone to see if, if they wanted to order themselves or, if they're ready.
I'll be in the back.
And as soon as it seems like everyone is ready, she will crack open the door wide enough for, us to run in.
Gotcha.
She'll go ahead and charge.
Cool. Then Boudica charges in. Veacher, are you going behind?
Yep, Veach is falling behind her.
Alright. Diana will go too. And Alon.
I will. Yep, following in.
Then, as you push into this space, you can see that these pillars of blue flame alight this misty, gloomy area. Ahead of you, there is a pile of bones. And you can see the figure of a young woman just doubled over and crying upon the pile of bones. And then the crying stops. And you'd hear Boudica, familiar voice, go, Boudica? Is that you?
It's Agnes, it's me.
This moment, then, you'd watch as thorns begin to ripple out of the body of this woman. As you can see, they turn around and unleash an inhuman wail. As in this moment, they dash forward, quick as a whip, blinding speed, attempting to overcome your defenses. I'm going to need all of you to go ahead and roll for order. Let's see. Alon?
11.
11. Boudica?
8.
8. Vicha?
6.
Very nice. Then, for Diana, be a 7. And for Agnes, let's see here. $11. But Alon, you get the tiebreaker.
Okay.
As she's coming forward with blinding speed, you're up first, Alon.
Okay. Let's. I'm gonna try to shoot her in the leg.
Gotcha.
Okay. Does she count as Eldritch?
She would, yes. She is of that caliber.
Okay. Let's see here. Da- Okay, let's see here. 3 successes.
3 successes, okay.
So let's see. Damage-wise, that is... Wait, hang on. None of those were 6s, so exploding doesn't work. That's 42,
42.
I believe.
Take that on stamina. As you
Hey.
watch as she dodges out of the way.
And I give fighting spirit to Boudica.
Okay.
Do these go to the ceiling or?
They do go to the ceiling, yes.
Okay.
Ceiling's about 30 feet up.
Okay. Do I still have my barrel?
You do?
Can I just sort of float up?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll be a little off the ground, and that'll be my turn.
How far off the ground?
Let's say 20 feet, if the ceiling's 30.
20 feet? Okay. 20 feet? Sure you don't want to go 25?
Sure, I'll do 25.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, and that's me.
Alright. Then it will be Agnes's turn. As you watch, Buddha has 1 second she's on the bones, the next second she's in front of Diana, as her hand becomes this spinning whirl of thorns and almost like this necrotic energy, as Agnes is going to use a blooming impact on Diana.
That's a child!
That will be 63 points of magical crushing damage and +1 corruption as well. Diana will be able to go ahead and take that on... We'll take that on stamina. However, secondary effect of Blooming Impact procs. As you watch as it hits, and like the space Diana just was, this massive, almost flower-like effect unfurls, as it's like this massive Estelle flower manifests all around and then shoots petals in all directions. 20 feet. So you would not be caught in this, Alon. But everyone else would take 25 magical poison damage. And that would take one of Diana's armor blocks.
You said, sorry, how much damage?
25.
25. Okay. That's stamina for me.
Mm-hmm. Boudica?
I'm gonna take that on stamina.
Gotcha. Then from there, Agnes is going to back out and then scurry up 15 feet on the side of this pillar. And that will be her turn. Boudica, you're up.
Well, I am gonna go ahead and... I want to go... Hold on. I want to go. I want to run over here, and I'm going to fly up 15 feet. And I'd like to use my sword on her. I imagine I have to position myself like this, and to actually hit her. Okay. So... Does she count as a fae?
No.
Okay. Well, I will go ahead and take an attack at her. My axe. Times.
See, she'll take that on health blocks.
I have sheer.
Nice.
I have sheer 1 on Snow Painter, and I have the sheer power.
Cool, so you have sheer 2, actually.
Yes.
Gotcha. Then, as you slam the weapon into her, what does the attack look like?
So you see Boudica start running, and then she starts to like unfold her wings behind her back as she jumps up, flapping her wings, and she just brings this axe down into Agnes, and she's trying to knock her down to the ground.
Gotcha. As you slam the axe in, there's this burst of blood as you carve this line into her flesh. And as you do, you hear once again this unearthly wail come from Agnes as the pain settles in, and then the anger as the creature looks over at you as thorns just begin to manifest from the wound.
We're going to cure you, Agnes. And that's going to be the end of my turn.
Okay. Then it will be Diana's turn, as she is going to back over that way, and from there, I think she's going to go ahead and take a shot, at Agnes at the moment. So she's going to go ahead and level her longbow for 42 damage, which Agnes is going to go ahead and she'll take on another health block as she's caught in the side of the shoulder with the shot, as you watch as the arrow sinks in and just immediately becomes overgrown in thorns. As now, Vici, you're beginning to feel more and more energy start to build. But it's your turn.
Can I tell what the building energy is?
You can use a background action.
Sure.
Alright, make a mental check.
Okay. Would exceptional mind work for that?
Yes.
I'll use 2 hero points for that. 4 successes.
4 successes. The energy is this strange power that is flowing through her. The ascendant power in some way. And Agnes seems to be drawing it into herself. And with each cut, more and more of her thorns are unleashed, able to continuously grab more of the power which is in the air.
I don't know if cutting her is such a good idea. It seems like it's letting her take in more power. And I think Vici's gonna... Shit, he doesn't really have anything ranged to get her with. I think he'll slide... Do I have any idea if, like, damage that's more like bludgeoning would have the same effect?
Don't know.
Don't know. Okay. Um. Shit. I guess I'll slide up, hold my action for she comes back down. But I'll try to... I want to specifically make an attack with like kind of the flat of my blade or like the butt of like the hilt if she comes down, not cutting into her.
Okay.
I already used my background action, so that'll be my turn.
Gotcha. Alon, you're up.
Does any part of her seem like it's not vine? Or is it just all vine?
I mean, there are thorns poking out of every part of the body. Like, she is more infection than person at the moment.
Okay. With the cuts we've made so far, does it seem like there's anything underneath, or...
Maybe? Like, there's blood.
Okay. Alright, I'll take a shot aiming for the spot that Boudica already hit.
Okay. Take the shot.
Yep. I'm going to Fighting Spirit myself and Diana. And take the shot. Veach is too far away to count as ally, right?
Correct.
Okay. Here we go. That's 75 points of damage.
75 points of damage. Then what does your
oh,
shot...
Hang on. I think, roll five more dice because exploding, yeah?
Awesome, yeah.
Okay, another 15.
15. Describe for me how you take a health block.
I am looking at that spot that Boudica already carved into, and I am looking for the spot that I think the axe penetrated the deepest, and I am aiming for that spot.
Uh-huh. And you find it as you watch as the arrow goes deep within the thorns, as momentarily Agnes doubles over. And then you hear, kind of in this tiny voice, Boudica, I know what I must do. I need to bring you amongst the thorns, because that is all you understand. And in this moment, the thorns begin to burst out of Agnes in another wave, going out in all directions. And Boudica, you begin to feel the energy change, as it's like her skin is beginning to vibrate with power at this point. You've entered phase 2.
Just gonna say it, I also have sheer 2.
Yep, okay.
But I'm staying where I am, so that's my turn.
Alright, then in phase 2, Agnes leaves initiative. And her turn always comes after your turns. So, at the moment, she's going to go ahead and... Ooh, what would be nice here? She's going to go ahead and use Thorn Envelopment. Actually, no. Not a Thorn Envelopment. She'll use a Blooming Impact on Boudica.
Oh, man.
That's 54 points of damage, Boudica, and +1 corruption.
I'm gonna take that on an armor.
Gotcha. By the way, how much corruption do you have so far?
7.
7? 10 is the cap before it takes over your body.
Very cool.
And then the Blooming Impact occurs as another 25 points to Vicha and Boudica.
I'm gonna take that on stamina.
Stamina for me as well.
Cool. And then she is going to go ahead and fall there. And she'll go ahead and burn some stamina points for that fall. And make her way over to this direction. Your turn, Boudica.
Very cool. Well, I guess I can't use this now because she already ended her turn, but I have Warden.
Yeah, a little bit late to call there.
Yeah. So I will fly over to where she's at and fly down.
Okay.
And I will try to make an axe attack. Doing the same thing that Alon did, where I'm going in the same place where I already had gone.
Nice.
It's gonna be 120 points of damage again.
120. She'll go ahead and take that on stamina.
Oh! That's so cool. And then I'm gonna use my combat ability to immediately... move 10 feet this way. And that'll be my turn.
Awesome sauce. Then, at the end of your turn, now it's Agnes again.
What? Okay.
At the end of all of your turns.
Oh, cool.
As at this moment, she's going to unleash her Thorn Envelopment. As she's going to go ahead and like rush towards you, and in this moment, from both her hands, 12 vines covered in thorns attempt to wrap around you, Boudica. That's going to be 70 magical piercing damage.
I'll have to take that on a health block.
Health block and +1 corruption.
Oh, that's not looking good for me, fellas.
And roll 2d6 for the injury.
An 8.
You gain detriment 3 on your next roll. Let's put that to the test. As Agnes is then going to dash this way. So if you want, you can warden now.
I will go ahead and warden now. So detriment 3 means less dice.
3 less dice, yep.
It's gonna be 60 points of damage.
Take that on stamina. And I should also note that you now have thorns on you. So, at the top of the next round, fun things are going to happen. Boudica?
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
I am worried about it. I'm like 2 hits away from being another guy, but the wrong guy.
Let's see. Now, if that's your turn, it will be Diana's turn. I think Diana is going to shift over this way, and seeing the pickle you're in, Boudica, is going to... Yeah, you're really hurt. Diana's going to take a shot with her longbow at you. Oh, that sucks. She's only going to heal you for 30 stamina, but it's something.
Better than nothing.
And then she's going to try and book it this direction. And that will be the end of her turn, which means another Agnes turn. Agnes is going to roll up. Actually, does she even need to roll up like that? She can roll up right there. Let's see here. Hey, Caleb, odd or even?
Odd.
Awesome, awesome. Then, as there's this burst of corrupting energy that swirls around you, you'll just take +1 corruption.
Okay.
And how much corruption is Vicha at?
8.
That's not good. But it's your turn, Vicha.
Okay. Is it safe to say I'd have a torch or a stick or something in my inventory?
I would say that you might be able to have... wood is not a commodity that you have a lot of. Also, you have 1 torch, yeah.
Okay. You said they're pillars of... this is blue fire over here?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm gonna scuttle over there. Set my torch on fire with it.
Okay.
Am I able to get back up there? That's... I only have 40 feet of movement to work with. I'm gonna come up here, and then I'm gonna try to huck the torch at her. See if
Okay.
fire works a bit better with the thorns.
Gotcha. Then make a damage roll.
Okay.
And with damage rating, this would be 5.
Damage rating 5. Okay. I'm gonna burn hero points. Yeah, I'll burn 2. 4 successes.
4. Has resistance 2 to this fire. However, this fire also grants sheer 3 when used as a part of the attack. Fortunately, that would be only 10 damage that would get through, as she would use stamina to dodge away from the torch, but does not want to get hit with that fire, very clearly.
Okay. I'm just gonna yell to the others, try fire. And then background action. Elon is up next. So I'll... Dalton, are you back?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give Know It All to you, so you can reroll 2 dice during your next damage roll.
Okay.
And will that be Vicha's turn?
Veech's exhausted everything he can do, yeah.
Alright, then... Seeing Veach is in the end of your turn, Agnes is going to take another turn, head over there, and is going to use a blooming impact on Vicha. Has detriment. Detriment 2. For only 18 damage initially.
Only 18. That'll go on stamina.
Gotcha, and +1 corruption.
Okay. 9 corruption.
And then let's see if who's in the radius. Oh, yep, that's within the 20 feet. Then Boudica, Diana, and Vicha would all take an additional 25 points of magical poison damage.
Could I use an armor block for that?
You could.
Okay, I will be doing that.
Diana would take a health block. And
Is that her second one?
first.
Oh, that's her first. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no! It's a bad injury, though, so this is going to be a major injury. You had to say something, Caleb. Oh, I guess it's fine. Me and my big mouth. She would fall prone from the pain. And how was Boudica handling that 25 damage?
Stamina.
Stamina?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. Let's see. After that, I think Agnes is going to bite the bullet and move that way. Gain some detriment to get away from Vicha. So that at the top of the round, Boudica, your thorns flare again. As the thorn envelopment let's see. You would lose 45 stamina points as the thorns drain energy from you.
Very, very cool. I don't have any more stamina points.
Cool. Wouldn't take a health or armor block, but they literally just leech your stamina and drain you away. Alon, you're up.
Would it take a full action to attempt an injection?
It likely would. The injection, in order to make contact, you think you have to get through their stamina points.
Oh, okay.
Because stamina is avoiding contact in hits.
Fair point. Okay. All right. In that case, I'm taking another shot. Again, aiming for the deepest wound I can see.
Okay.
Actually, would using the heat effect of my Torvian have the same effect as fire, do I think?
Hard to say. You can try and make a mental check as background action to figure that out.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, make a mental check.
3.
3. This blue fire seems to be something a little bit special. So, you don't think it would have as sharp an effect? No.
Okay. In that case, I will take the shot, and I will start off with a surge's precision.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's start with that. Okay. Oh shoot, where did I put it? Just 1 second. And now the full roll itself. That equals 2 more dice first. $140 damage.
140. She'll go ahead and take that on health blocks.
Okay. Sure too. I already used my background action. I will. Let's see. I'll go. The fire. Does it? These are pillars that go all the way up, or?
Correct, all the way up.
Okay. In that case, I will.
They're hazardous.
Let's say there,
Gotcha.
and that'll be my turn.
All right. Then, as you fire and launch an arrow deep into Agnes's chest once more, you hear this like hysterical laugh crying as Agnes is going to go ahead and it's there. She doesn't really have another target. Gonna run up. And actually, here. I'll allow you to call this, Caleb. Odd or even?
Odd.
Coming after you.
Fair.
As we'll run forward and attack with a blooming impact. For 36 damage. And plus 1
fuck.
corruption.
That would put me at 10.
That would put you at 10. Then, as the attack slams into Vicha, you watch as his body becomes overtaken with thorns. And then there is a pulse of energy that expands out once again. 25 damage to Boudica and Diana.
I'm gonna have to take that on a health block.
Okay? And Diana would too. So, both of you roll, or Diana and Boudica would roll, yeah.
Do I not roll for an injury?
No.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 7 for me.
7 for you. And this is a minor injury or a major?
It's my second health block.
Okay, so major. Creatures would gain benefit 1 on damage rolls against you then. As this blast of poison seeps into your wounds, slowing you down, Boudica. As Diana on the ground, the poison begins to get into her system, and she gains the dire condition. And then that is going to be Agnes. Boudica, you're up.
Did Vicha drop his torch?
The torch is over there.
Oh, the torch is over there. God damn it.
Yeah, he threw it.
Um. Can Boudica fly 10 feet up, fly over, grab the torch, and then from where she is, throw the torch at Agnes? From, like,
Yeah, go for it. This would be a physical damage roll.
Okay.
Damage rating 5.
Trading 5.
No extra dice from
Resistance
Vicha.
2, correct?
Correct.
Oh,
Resistance.
no
no
extra dice?
No extra dice from Vicha.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, resistance 2, so that would be 20 damage, which she would take with stamina.
No, nothing even with the fire. Gosh darn it.
Well, the fire has an extra sheer 3, but she has resistance 2 to it.
Fair enough. I am going to... Okay, I flew 10 feet up, and then I flew 5 feet over. I think I only have 5 feet of movement left, so I will fly 5 feet into the air. So I'm 15 feet up.
Gotcha. Is that your turn?
That's all I can do.
Then Agnes will go, walk there, and will attack down at Diana. At benefit 3. Yeah, that's 54. Let's see. Is there anything that can be done? No. Diana would be brought to unconsciousness. As this point, she loses her final health block, as Agnes is going to use a background action to have the thorns kind of wrap around Diana. She's not fully infected yet, but she is within the grasp of the Van Rome virus. And let's see. Anything else from there? That is the question. Well, firstly, another 25 points of damage to you, Boudica. From the
Sorry, that's
blooming
gonna have
impact.
to be- It's gonna have to be on my final health block.
Okay. Then, as the poison hits your body, it's not designed to be lethal, it's designed to paralyze. As Alon, you watch as Boudica falls as thorns begin to sprout from the ground, catching her, wrapping her inside. As you are now down, Boudica. And let's see, Boudica down, Diana down. Dark Vicha, go get Alon down. Any way you
Great.
can.
Yeah, I don't have anything ranged, but unfortunately Diana does. Am I able to get to her both where the thorns she's entangled in?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Dark Vicha would pick that up and level that at Alon.
Okay. Then it's a damage rating 6 bow.
Okay. That is 4 successes.
4 successes. So 24 damage to Alon.
Okay,
Yes.
stamina.
Gotcha. Then
Right, and then...
anything else you're doing?
Oh, I don't know. Am I required to give my background action to Agnes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She gets know-it-all.
Awesome. And would that be Vicha's turn?
Yes, I think, well, scoot up here, and then that'll be his turn.
Gotcha. Then, into Vicha's turn, we'll go with Agnes again. Agnes. Not a ton of range. However, she do got a little bit of range. She will go ahead and she'll run here and try to corruption burst. You are a little too far away, so here's the deal, Dalton. Odd or even, I'm rolling 2 dice. If one of them is correct, you're fine. Nothing happens.
All right, let's go with odd.
Alright, just need 1 odd at this range. They're
2
both
odds.
odd. As the corruption burst fires up at you and your barrel veers to the side, just dodging. But that's Agnes. Top the round, Alon. You're the last one standing.
And she still has stamina points.
She does. She's still looking fast. Like, you've definitely taken stamina points from her. And she's definitely taken some damage. But again, this was a creature that wrecked shop. And she is being fueled by so much pain and internal conflict. It's like the virus just had an absolute field day with her.
Okay. Well, I'll fighting spirit myself and no one else, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I'm trying to think because if I go super high damage, then it'll be health blocks and not stamina. I need to lower stamina. So I'll I'll do Torvian this time.
Okay.
Let's go cold.
Cold? Okay.
So let's see. Wait, nope. 10. There we go. 30 points.
30 points? Gotcha. It's not going to do anything additional. She'll burn stamina points.
Okay, that's what I wanted. I suppose that's all I can do.
Okay. Then, after your turn...
Wait.
Hmm?
I'm gonna move up here next to the pillar.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Is that your turn?
Make it there. Yeah.
Then, with Agnes, she's going to move here. Boudica, how many points of corruption do you have now?
I have 8.
Yeah. They will corruption burst you. You're unconscious. There's no way that you can fight against this. So they're going to go ahead and give you 2 points of corruption.
Can't
And
climb pillars anymore? Damn it.
Fucked up, man. I'm all dark and evil now.
as you watch as the thorns fully wrap around Boudica at this moment, as the virus takes hold, restoring you to 1 health block due to its regenerative properties, Boudica. And then Agnes is going to make her way there. Boudica, it's your turn. You got the guy with the cure that you need to go get.
Yeah. I will fly the additional 10 feet up and then fly at him, and then I suppose I shall hit him with my axe. Do I still have that detriment 3?
No, not anymore.
Gonna be 108 points of damage.
Christ. Okay, that's an armor block.
With sheer, right?
With sheer, yes. Sheer 2.
2? Okay. I only have 1 armor block, so am I down to... Does that take 2 health then?
Yep.
Fuck me. Okay. Okay.
I need you to roll 2d6 twice for your injuries.
Yep. That's 1 is 9. The second one is 4.
Okay. Then, as Boudica swings, she impacts you so hard, Alon, you fall prone. As you fall, getting hit. Technically, you're in your barrel, so just for that reason alone, you're not crashing down to the ground. However, as well, you gain the scared condition from Boudica, so you are scared of Boudica for the next 2 rounds. While scared, you cannot use the attack action or any power on the creature that you fear, so you are terrified of this thorn-covered, infected Boudica.
Okay.
At the end of Boudica's turn, Agnes is putting 2 corruption into Diana. Vicha, it's your turn.
We just gotta make another shot at Delon.
I hope this is a strong barrel.
Mm-hmm. I'll say that with this, I mean, it is a magic bow. You got resistance 1 to this damage roll.
Be him being prone, does that still give me benefit when he's ranged?
Nah,
Or when it's ranged?
It would usually, but he's behind cover now, so I would say probably not. Like, he's in a
Probably not?
barrel.
Okay. He's in a barrel. It's just like shooting fish.
Mm-hmm.
Ally bonus for Boudica?
Yes.
Okay.
So, 4 successes.
Yeah, if a weapon says while wielding this weapon, the gain you get from that is only if that is like actively the one you're using in combat, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I don't have Wolfpack against him.
That's good. I believe that's only 24 damage then.
Okay, stamina.
Oh, right, never mind.
Anything
I forgot
else?
you said resistance. Background action on Agnes, and that'll be it.
Gotcha. And if your turn, another 2 corruption to Diana, bringing her up to 9. Top of the round, Alon, you're up.
Okay. Quick question. With Witch's Mount, the item has a fly speed. Is my speed extra or is it included in there?
It's included in there.
Okay. I can't survive another hit from Boudica. I'm pretty sure that's just factual.
Probably, yes.
So as part of my control over the barrel, can I tip it over?
You can?
I will tip it over and fall down onto Agnes, syringe in hand,
Okay.
attempting to stab her in it with it from above.
Okay. I see.
I got one Hail Mary. I got nothing else.
Look, I'm going to be frank with you. Unless it's that entire gallon, one syringe is not going to be enough to instantly take effect with a Nexus host. Even with a regular dose or an improved dose.
Okay.
So, if you would like, you can go ahead and make a physical damage roll against her. I'd say at benefit 1, due to the fall, we'll place some extra damage on this as well. See if you're able to get through.
Okay. How much damage rating is this?
This would be damage rating against Agnes. This would probably be... it's a regular syringe, so it would be probably 3.
Damage rating 3?
Yep.
Okay. I don't suppose that I could... No, never mind. A Crohn's Tonic isn't a background action to take. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Okay, so that's 4 successes. I'm going to use 6 hero points.
Okay.
Okay, that's 5 successes.
All right. So, let's see here. 18 plus... Let's see how much more from your fall. 5 per every 10 feet. It's 28. She's still going to be able to take that on stamina.
God damn it.
As you do fall on top of her, but she's fast enough where
you're not able to like get a solid hit. Like you're stabbing into parts of thorns, a few drops of this liquid leaking out, and immediately she's just severing the thorns from the body as you're watching. Like she's just doing everything she can to not get that syringe plunged into her.
I suppose an extra 5 from the fighting spirit would have done it.
She was at 55 stamina points. This
Damn,
this
okay.
would bring her, with the extra 5, I'll add it in, bring her down to 20 stamina points. But
Okay.
yeah, it would not have changed the outcome.
Gotcha.
Is that your turn?
I got nothing else.
Then I think Agnes, at the end of your turn, is just going to whip around and look at you. And you watch as the face extends into this smile.
It has been so many years since I last saw all of you. I am so glad that we get to be friends again. This is great.
And you feel this energy start to be summoned up in the hand, Alon, as you watch as your marrow fallen friends begin to inch closer.
It seems like this is exactly the island that we needed to go to. Now, am I to assume that Neza is here as well? Along with my father? Oh, it doesn't matter. We can all find them together. Finally, I'm not alone.
And with that, Agnes unleashes downward into you, Alon, as you feel darkness and thorns take you. As Agnes's laugh ripples out from underneath the Church of Estelle, as Neza, back on the Mantis, does not know that the cure has just fallen into the hands of the devout. And it is here where we will end our session for today. As, we will see what happens next. There is a cure. However, you're going to be relying on a Jamie Hail Mary.
Thankfully, Jamie is usually good at those. I'm knocking on wood.
I'm knocking on wood too. I didn't think that I would be a prophet. I'm sorry that I jinxed fate. But this is truer than I ever thought.
Oh no. Yeah, stop that.
Yes.
Or maybe start making ones that are just like, all of us are happy and cool.
I did do that. It was called the Ascendant Garden. You guys got involved in the cult.
Well, you know what? I feel like cult shenanigans were gonna happen no matter what we did.
No. I mean, you could have just been like, look, the cult. Yeah, yeet. Or you might have never dealt with them. It was all open.
We did the darkest timeline. We did the darkest timeline.
The darkest timeline is if you didn't bake. Or knit and crochet. This is dark timeline adjacent. This is like roll 5 on the d6.
My head is trying to bore its way out of my skull. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Uh,
Oh, night.
Welp.